I can hear you now. If he gets it, I'll get it.
Now then, Mr. Chatlock, don't be like that. I'm only after a couple of tins of baked beans for me and Monkey. You wouldn't like to see 2 heaps of skin and bones under the viaduct, would you?
I wouldn't grumble if it were you two.
Oh, isn't it marvellous how people mellow in their old age? How we fixed them?
Now, look, if I give it to you, everybody will want it.
Right, I'll see if I can afford anything.
Now, Mr. Tatlock.
Look, is he getting thicker, isn't he?
No, he isn't.
Right, well, hold on a minute then.
Oh, it must be wonderful to own a shop where people have money.
Would you mind not doing that? You frighten me to death.
I only walked through the door. I'm obliged to do that, you know.
Only if you come to buy summat.
Yeah, well, can I have a look at the Gazette? I won't get it dirty or nothing.
Go on.
Ta. Ah, there you are. What nights did he let old age pensioners in at the Roxy for nothing?
Are you insulting me?
I was only asking.
And I'm only telling you, I don't know. Ask me again in 30 years' time. Not a word, or I'll give you a good hiding.
Me lips is sealed.
Now here's somebody will be able to tell us. Elsie, what days do they let OAPs in free at the Roxy?
Monday and Wednesday.
See, told you.
Not tomorrow. Ah, well, not to worry.
Well, what do you want to know for?
Well, it's a relative of a pal of mine, like. Monkey's uncle. Sounds funny, that, doesn't it?
Yeah, the whole thing sounds funny to me.
Yeah. Well, I'll see you. Right.
Hello, what do you want?
Now, don't be like that, Mrs. Sharples, when I've come to take you for a pre-birthday treat. Get that drunk, we'll go in the pictures.
Oh, a big one. Which one?
The Roxy.
Well, that's not much of a flipping treat, is it? Those old age pensioners on Mondays and Wednesdays get in for note.
You don't?
We do, lad.
Well, I'll be blowed. I was going to pay for you, know. Still, you need the change, and it's the thought that counts.
Of course it is. What's on?
Hold on to your hat. Only, gone with the wind. So get your sandwiches cut, fill your thermos, notify your next of kin, and we're off.
Gone with the wind? I've never seen that.
Wait, that means free list entirely suspended.
You what?
Free list entirely suspended. They only let us in to see the bad ones. If it's a good one, they make us pay. Still, that's what you wanted, isn't it?
Yeah, of course it is.
Hello.
Lend's 50p, will you?
You want?
Look, believe me, it's a matter of life and death.
50p.
You're a white man.
Are you coming around here?
I am now, Mrs. Sharples.
I'm sorry, Mr. Yeats, but if I do have a Christmas tree this year, and I doubt if I'll bother, it will certainly be one of the sap and wood variety, not one of your artificial models. It's all a question of good taste. Some people have it and others...
Here.
Look, I'll take bets. There's a lot more plastic Christmas trees winking in your parlour windows than there are real ones this year.
Exactly, because there isn't much good taste about these days. I reckon we're going to wake up one Christmas morning and find the streets full of plastic snow. And then the birth of our Lord will have been well and truly commercialised.
What is wrong with a bit of commercialisation? Listen, I'd sooner sit in front of a plastic Christmas tree, noshing frozen turkey, watching a telly, than sucking dinosaur bones in a cave somewhere. You'll buy one of me trees, won't you, Stan?
I'm buying that this Christmas.
Well, somebody must. I know fellas that only work at Christmas. They make so much money flogging, they spend the rest of the year looking at their Kevin Keegan scrapbooks.
Yes, it's obscene.
It's very profitable, Squire.
Sure.
Hey, Fred, have you got a minute? So, how many will you take, Fred? A score?
Well, I only want one.
One?
Aye, 50p each, you said, didn't you? Here, I get it now.
Thanks, Fred. It's a pleasure to do business with you. I like a fella that thinks big, you know, prepared to take big risks.
I do.
Oh, how are you fixed?
I beg your pardon?
For Christmas trees this year. No, I happen to know where there's some going cheap. You know, plastic ones. They last a lifetime, you know.
Well, I'll tell you what. You buy as a present, say, something like a diamond necklace to stick on the tree, and I'll buy one off you.
Somehow that doesn't sound like very fair barter to me.
No deal, love.
Suppose you'll be selling the real thing, will you?
We usually do. No, I tell a lie. We sell artificial lemons, but the juice inside of them's real.
Real Christmas trees?
Definitely. Hey, I wouldn't. Post that in there if it's a bomb. You see, my pool's coupon's inside.
No, it's not a bomb.
Bit of a tight squeeze, is it, love? Come here, let me have a bash.
Oh.
There?
Thank you.
Always like doing favours for ladies. Hey, maybe you can do one for me. Now listen, I've got hold of some Christmas trees, right? Now, they're plastic and they're very cheap. They're very nice Christmas trees. They have, like, 14 branches. Sorry, love, you all right? What's going on here?
Finished Harper's party, you know. Dig in, they're free.
No, thanks, I'm not hungry. Do you know where there's a chicken farm round here, Stan?
Do you what?
You know, where they sell chickens so I can reflog them.
I think they're fucking Christmas tree.
Nah, I've gone off them. Only sold one. There must be something I can build a living on, Stan. I mean, I'm not asking for a fortune.
Hey, Eddie, did you get me that Christmas tree I ordered?
Ah, well, there's been a bit of a problem there, Fred. They've developed the fungus, you know, Dutch elm disease.
Dutch elm disease? You told me they were plastic.
Well, plastic's only human, Fred.
I was going to surprise Mrs. Walker with that.
Ah, well, I've done you a favour, because she'd have told you what to do with it. Oh, very tastefully, of course. Here. Here's your 50p back.
Very.
Is your Hilda feeling better, Stan? Only she looked a bit choked about something before.
Ah, she's pig sick. Something about bed having new Mac or something. She wants one.
Women are like that, Stanley. I mean, one gets a new bit of clobber, they all want one. That's how these fellas in the rag trade make their millions. I mean, take that Mike Baldwin. Hey, he might be able to fix you up. Well, him being in the trade, like.
You reckon?
Well, perhaps not. Hey, I do know this fella, though.
I don't want to hear about him, Eddie. Just shut up and sup up. Who's this fella?
Well, it's my cousin's Eric, actually. He's in there, fire salvage, seconds, that sort of thing. How much did you want to spend?
Oh, maybe 5 quid, 8, yeah.
Betty, how much would you expect to pay for the Mac?
Oh, I'm not interested, love, with it being so near to Christmas.
I'm not trying to flog him. I'm trying to find out what the price would be.
Oh, I suppose about £15. I've no idea, love it.
I reckon I can get one for a tenner.
I've got a tenner.
Well, it mightn't be that much. Look, if I get one, are you interested?
Well, Hilda might not like it.
Might not like it. Stanley, when have I ever let you down? Well, recently.
It was a coincidence, you know. I'm talking to this chap in the Rovers, and he turned out to be in the raincoat business. So I told him about you, and he said, Mr. Ogden, don't worry, I'll fix you.
This, chap wouldn't be Eddie Yeats by any chance, would it?
No, of course not, no. You haven't got much faith in me, have you?
Oh, that's all right, then. Because I tell you here and now, any coats Eddie Yeats brings into this house gets shoved in the dustbin double quick, right?
Right.
Hey, I just popped in to ask
I'm
you...
just going down the road, Eddie. Come on with me, will you?
Oh, yeah, OK. Hang about, Stan, about the Mac. I want to know what size Hilda is. You forgot to mention it in the pub, you know. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know it was supposed to be a surprise. Well, you never said, did you? Oh, I feel dead rotten now. I've ruined everything, haven't I?
You could say that.
Look, just leave me alone, eh, Stan? Go on, I haven't got the energy to throw out at you. Wouldn't be worth it any road.
Look, if you don't like it, you needn't have it, right?
Oh, dead right, yeah.
Get out, the pair of you.
Hey, by the way, Hilda, what size are you?
Size 12. But I wouldn't wear it. Not if it were pure silk, I wouldn't.
Hello, Mrs. O.
What do you want?
You know, as I go through life, I swear people are getting unfriendlier and unfriendlier towards me.
Well, do you wonder?
Are you going to count to 10, aren't you?
Why?
Because I've got something for you, haven't I? In this plastic bag behind me back. Come on, count to 5 then. Just to 5. Go on, humour me.
1, 2, 3.
Not so fast.
4, 5.
Ta-da! Well, what do you think of it?
Oh, well, it's not bad.
Not bad. It's only dead fashionable, stylish, elegant, rainproof, and the bargain of a lifetime, that's all.
How much?
Have a guess.
Look, the last raincoat I bought were £3.19 and 11, so I'm hardly likely to know what they sell at today, am I?
This model, in the shops, 15 quid.
Oh, hey, that's a bit steep.
That is retail, via the middleman. Direct through me, wholesale.
How can it be direct if it's through you?
Do I own a shop?
No.
Then it's direct through me.
Well, how much then?
So you, a tenner.
How much to anybody else?
Hilda, I'm trying to do you a favour.
Yeah, well, be the first one anybody's done me for a long time.
Look, are you interested or aren't you? I mean, I can flog that to anybody. If I took that down the Rovers, they'd be fighting over each other to get hold of it. Especially as it's exclusive.
Exclusive?
Oh, yeah, that's exclusive. That is the only one of its kind. Well, round here, that is.
Why?
Because all the rest have gone down south, haven't they? To the posh places, you know. Bermondsey, Luton.
Oh. Here, you're not stuffing me up, are you, like you did with that wallpaper?
Hilda, did I stuff you up over that muriel? Now, be fair.
No.
Then trust your Uncle Eddie.
Well, it's very nice.
It's beautiful.
I like it.
I knew you would.
The price is reasonable.
It's a gift.
I'd still like a second opinion, though.
Oh, Mrs. O.
No, look, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll take it next door and ask Elsie Howard. Now, she's a bit of an expert on clothes with being in the trade, like.
How have you gone through life being so suspicious of people?
Oh, I wasn't always like this. Only since Arnold Ayres, the best-looking lad in Standard 2, gave me a handbag he said he'd found. When I opened it, it was full of frogs. Oh, is Elsie not in there?
No.
How's you, gorgeous?
What do you want?
Well, it was really Elsie I wanted, but I suppose you'll do.
She'll do very well.
Seeing you're in the same line of business. It's about this Mac.
What about it?
Well, I wanted to know what you thought of it.
Why?
I'm thinking of buying it, off him.
Then you want your red. Do you know, I think I'll start again.
Yeah, you see, I'm not the only one.
Hey, Fanny Craddock.
You talking to me?
Do you mind having a gander at this?
I have.
From nearer than half a mile away.
You do realise I'm in the middle of preparing a gourmet meal for me and Elsie, do you?
Oh, I like what?
Scrambled egg on toast. Eh? Hey, this isn't bad, Hilda.
Yeah, what did I tell you?
Do you mind if I try it on?
Oh, no, I'd like to see it on somebody else.
Eh? Not bad at all. How does it look on me?
You look like a Paris model. Mind you got the figure for it, you know what I mean?
And I haven't.
Oh, she should be so lucky. Trim at your age.
How much?
£10.
And it's not been knocked off?
No, it hasn't.
Then it's a bargain, definitely.
They are vindicated.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Of course, I always knew it were like, but, well, you can't be too careful with these unnatural fibres, can you? See Stanley about the money, will you, Eddie?
Delighted, Mrs. O. Hey, and I'm glad that you're delighted now.
It's an exclusive model, you know.
It's what?
I mean, who can you ask to do a good job these days? Who?
You, Stanley.
Ah, well, I'm of the old school, aren't I? A different generation. There's not many of us left, you know, more's the pity.
Who exactly, Stanley, is it who's let you down?
Said he Yeats.
Typical, isn't it?
Of what?
Post-war generation. Never had it so good, the world owes me a living brigade. They're frying the work, I'll tell you. Show them a worksheet, they go white. The army, that's the answer.
Well, what do you reckon to the show? Shoot 'em?
No, put them in it. Put them all in it. Make them polish a pair of boots so they can shave in it. And in 6 months' time, we'd lead the world. No danger.
I take your point about most people, Stanley. I mean, the world has certainly got us down as a nation of shirkers, but not Eddie. If he puts his mind to something, he can be real dynamite. Take that adventure playground, for instance.
He's let me down on this, hasn't he? And that's a fact.
Hello. Who's the man with a pint glass for a nose if it isn't my old friend Stanley Ogden?
I'll get knotted.
After what I've done for you?
Leave it to me. I'll get your Illyrimac, he says. Yes, my contacts, the job is as good as done. So I'll leave it. What happens? Nothing. So get knotted before I put one on you.
Hey, stand. There'll be no violence in here, lad.
It's all right, Fred. I can handle myself. Get us a pint, will you? Mohammed Ogden can pay for it.
You'll be lucky.
Because I've just left your Hilda grinning like an ice cream sandwich, parading up and down the living room, wearing, guess what?
A new mic? You're kidding.
Oh, ye of little faith, Stanley.
Just like it.
I wouldn't be surprised if she doesn't go to bed in it.
Eddie, you're the prince. You're the prince, lad. I knew you wouldn't let me down. I was only kidding with what I said, you know. I knew I could rely on you. I'll go and see it, eh? You're a prince.
Change quicker than litmus paper, can't they, human beings?
Especially Stanley.
I'll tell you something else about him and all.
What?
He never paid for that fine.
What do you think?
What do you think?
Smashing.
Thanks very much. And I'm not done up or anything, you know, I'm still in my mug. What are you staring at?
I'm waiting.
What for?
Apology. Who was never going to get you the mackerel?
Oh, well, I didn't reckon you wouldn't, Stan. I just, well, I didn't have your faith in Eddie Yeats.
I never lost faith in Eddie.
Yeah, well, it was justified on this occasion. Oh, I can't wait to go out in it.
I can't wait to take you out.
Ah, sure. Come here.
Oh, you can do better than that.
Oh, no, not while I'm wearing this, I can't. Well, not till I've had it on a few times, anyway.
Gable.
Get off.
Look, I'll do what I can for you, ladies, but I'm not promising. You know, I mean, I don't want to build your hopes up and then have to disappoint you. You know what I mean?
Do your best, love.
Yes, or better than your best if you can.
You know I will.
Look at her.
I'm sorry, love, do I know you?
Oh, you correct egg. It's me, Hilda.
It's never. Well, I wouldn't have known, I wouldn't.
Did my husband bought it me.
Did he?
You'll never guess how much.
10 quid.
How do you know?
Eddie there told us.
He's trying to get us one.
What's up, Hilda?
Eddie Yeats. Eddie Flaming Yeats.
Hilda?
Mr. Yeats told Mrs. Ogden that the Mac was exclusive.
Exclusive?
Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Don't go for his jugular with your hat pin, Hilda. You'll only have to clear the mess up yourself in the morning. Hilda!
Oh, it's all right. I'm not going to lose my temper. I mean, what's the point? There's bound to be some snagging it coming from him. Any road, I like it and I feel comfortable in it.
You look $1 million, Hilda. $1 million.
You look smashing out, kid.
So give us a port and lemon. Mavis? Oh, I'll have a sweet sherry, please. Might as well spend Stanley's window money.
That's the spirit, Hilda. Never show me your scars, love.
Can I help you, Eddie?
Well, actually, I can't make up my mind, you see. I mean, whether to risk it or not, you know.
Risk what?
Having a bag of caramels.
Well, they haven't got strychnine in them, you know.
Oh, no. I like him, you see, but they don't like me. You see, it's me fillings. The last time I had a bag of caramels, I lost a couple. You know what I mean?
Oh, well, I'll leave you to it. I mean, far be it from me to come between you and your toffee.
Fred?
Reckon about what?
Mrs. Walker's chances of passing the test tomorrow.
Hey, shall we be loyal or truthful?
You've seen that film, have you? Death Race 2000.
Hey, her instructor reckons that Danny LaRue's got as much chance of playing for Wakefield Trinity as she has of passing the test first time.
Wow.
What's it to do with you, Nero?
No, I've had this little idea. You know me, full of ideas.
Oh, what about?
Have you got a paper and pencil handy?
No, I haven't.
Ah, well, no sweat.
Hey, Betty, what's Boy Wonder up to now?
I don't know. No good, I reckon, no, now, Eddie.
Now, there's a couple of likely lads if ever I saw
What the hell
them.
do you want?
I am here, gentlemen, to do you a great favour. Give you a chance of earning a couple of bob.
Why, you're selling insurance now?
Nothing so risky. I'm here in my official capacity as unofficial bookmaker for this pub. I am offering 5 to 1 Mrs. Walker passenger driving test tomorrow.
She passes? You must be bloody balmy.
I've got great faith in Mrs. Walker.
You know something, don't you? You must know.
Me? What could I know? I'm just prepared to put me money where me faith is. that's all.
Listen, she's got no chance, not first time.
It's a nothing bet, is that, mate? Now, if you're offering 10 to 1 that she won't pass.
You're not very loyal, are you?
What odds are you offering?
5 to 1.
Go on, I'll take 10 to 1. Miracles can happen.
Go on, 10 to 1, since it's you.
I'll have 10p with you.
How about you then, Gail?
No chance. I'm not throwing me money away.
Now, any more for any more of this never-to-be-repeated offer. I am offering 10 to 1 Mrs. Walker passenger driving test, providing, of course, she doesn't knock down a warden or two on the way. How about you, Albert? Are you interested in the little flutter, then?
No, I'm not. But I reckon I stood behind you might be.
Hello, Mrs. Walker.
You are aware that it's a criminal offence to make a book in a public house, aren't you? I'm sure you must be with your intimate personal experience of the law.
Yeah, well, it's a bit of a giggle, you know.
At my expense?
Oh, no, we're backing you to pass, you know.
Are you indeed?
Oh, yeah, should make a mint.
Really? Would you give me a pound from the till?
Yes, Mrs.
You are quoting odds of 10 to 1, I believe.
Yeah, well, I mean, people are only betting 10p's, like, you know.
Yes, what's the matter, Eddie? Having second thoughts?
Yeah, he never said she was bad, did he? This could be your best chance to make a killing. 20 to 1.
Rubbish. Look, that fellow was in the right state of shock. And I know because I saw a lot of that in First World War. He'd been driving about with Annie Walker for 2 hours, hadn't he? Never seen eyes like them since last I saw chaps coming back from over at top.
Doesn't anybody believe she's going to pass?
No.
You're dead right. Some people are religious about work. They don't know why they do it. They just keep doing it. You know, like mice on a treadmill.
Well, somebody's got to keep the flipping country going. I suppose you're above all that, are you?
I am, mate. I'm liberated from the rat race. Mind you, I do appreciate that others need a bit of excitement, and I am here to help. I am now offering 15 to 1 Annie Walker passenger driving test. How about a little flutter, Raymond?
You can flutter off, Eddie.
You like a gamble, Deirdre? You must do to marry a bloke like him.
No, thanks, Eddie.
Oh, come on. Someone must have a bet. Where's the spirit of adventure?
Go on, I'll have a bet on Annie Walker.
You what? Listen, if she passes that driving test, it'll be the biggest miracle since the parting of the Red Sea.
Don't put the lad off.
Might be due for a miracle. Here's 50p on her.
Done. Any more? Come on, do you know you're the only one with a bit of style, Terry?
That's not style, it's insanity.
Can I have your best of order, everybody, please? Now, I don't normally hold with taking bets after the air is running, but in this case, I'm prepared to make an exception. Now, your friend of mine, Mrs. Walker, should be at the first bend. I'm giving 10 to 1 she turns in front. Are there any takers?
Thank you. Now drive on, please.
Yes, by all means.
Now, drive to the junction, turn right, and then drive back to the test centre.
I expect you want to test me on the highway code, won't you? I've been studying it very religiously. I think you'll find I've mastered it.
What are you doing there, then?
It's me winnings. What I get off the people that bet on Annie Walker, you know. There's £2 off Fred G, there's 50p off Terry Bradshaw, and there's £1 off Annie Walker herself.
Well, suppose she passes, though. I mean, you gave them 10 to 1, didn't you? You'd be paying out a fortune.
No chance. I'm a student of form, Ken. Anyway, I've seen the way she drives. Oh, aye, there's 10p off you, Mrs. Turpin. All mounts up, you know. Oh, hello there, Mr. Walker. How did you get on then?
This rather interesting little document is a certificate of competence to drive. In other words, some of you will be delighted to hear, I have passed.
Good for you, Mrs. Walker.
Well done, Mrs. Walker.
I don't believe it.
Why, didn't you think I was capable?
No, well, yes, certainly. I've won 20 quid.
I've won a fiver.
You haven't really passed, have you, Mrs. Walker? I mean, it's a pike, innit? You're having us on, really.
Most certainly I had passed, and I rather think I've won £10.
Oh, hey, and I had 10 pence on, so I've got £1 coming to me.
Can I have a look at the certificate, Mrs. Walker, please?
Certainly not. It's a private document.
Oh, fair dues, Mrs. Walker. I mean, I've got to see that you have passed.
Well, ask Mr. Grady.
Is that right, then?
It's right.
Come on through, Mr. Grady. I'm sure that a sherry wouldn't come amiss. As soon as possible will be quite convenient for my winnings.
Hey, I'll have mine now, Eddie.
Yeah, come on, cough up.
Look, I can't pay you just at the moment, lads. I mean, I haven't quite got it, you see.
Well, you better get it then, hadn't you, Eddie?
And look sharp about it, Eddie.
Yes, you had.
Eddie, can I make a suggestion?
I wish you would.
Well, now she's passed the test, she's going to need a car, isn't she? And I'm sure that you have 1 or 2 contacts, and the commission would...
Pay me debts. It's a great idea, Squire. Why don't I buy you a drink?
Why don't you?
2 large brandies, please.
Now, look, it was a fair bet, Eddie. Mrs. Walker passed her test. You lost, you owe me 20 quid. You said you'd pay me today. Now, come on, cough up.
Now, steady on, Fred. I said I'd pay you tomorrow.
You said that yesterday, and the day before, and the day before.
Yeah, and I'm not a fella that changes me mind every 5 minutes, so I'll say the same thing today. I'll pay you tomorrow. And don't go busting a gut. Listen, any bet made on licensed premises is against the law, and therefore invalid. I don't have to pay you nothing.
You what?
You heard.
Just answer me one question. If you'd have won, you wouldn't have mentioned that, would you?
Yeah, probably would. And I'd have expected you to be as generous as what I'm going to be.
Oh, aye. How generous is that, then, eh?
Well, I'll tell you. Even though the law is on my side, which it is, and it's very rare, I'll grant you, but it is, I will pay you half the odds. And no bad language. Your lady boss has just walked in. Heartiest congratulations once again, Mrs. Walker.
Oh, thank you. Not, I take it, accompanied by the money you owe me.
Ah, well,
I thought as much. Still, one can but hope, can't one?
One certainly can, Mrs. Walker. And I was hoping, now that you've got your licence, perhaps I could fix you up with the necessary transport, like.
I'm afraid not. No. In fact, I'd go further. I'd say that you have joined that select band, including notables such as ex-President Nixon, no less, from whom I would not dream of buying a second-hand car. In fact, you're honoured. You are at the top of the list.
Oh, thank you very much. Pays to know where you stand, doesn't it?
That's what I say.
Yeah, played a blinder there, mate.
Yeah, I did, didn't I?
Mind you, I agree with you. You know, I wouldn't buy a second-hand car off you.
But you must have a few mates who spend half their lives flogging cars.
What do you mean, half their lives?
Well, they spend the rest of the time pensioning.
Now, steady on, Squire. I happen to number some very legitimate car salesmen among my acquaintances.
What are you waiting for, then?
I don't care what they say, you're not as daft as you look. Hello, Lanky? Eddie Yeats. Yeah, I know, long time. Listen, do us a favour. I want you to sell a car to a dame with more money than Malum. Yeah. Yeah, only it'll have to be posh. Yeah, of course there's something in it for me, like commission. Yeah, no, don't use Lanky Pots. Hang on. Here. Abernethy. Abernethy. Oh. A-B-E-R-N-E-T-H-Y. Yeah. Yeah, and if you can't sell a car with a handle like that, you want shooting. What? Yeah, Paul. Paul Abernethy. Sounds good, that, doesn't it? Hey? Yeah, well, listen. This is the deal. Now, it's the dame that runs the pub, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there are people who say that driving an automatic is not driving at all. But what is driving today if it is not getting from A to B? And why not do it as comfortably as possible?
Quite right, love.
Of course, I took my test in a manual car, so of course I'm covered for both. But I must say, when Mr. Grady let me drive an automatic for a couple of hours, I appreciated the difference.
Oh, you would do.
Do you know, you're dead right there, Mrs. Walker.
Well, why are you so surprised? I often am.
Hey, can I have a shove to your paper, Squire?
Help yourself.
Oh, sir. Jensen Interceptor.
Oh, yeah.
Ilman Minx.
Ah, you're getting warmer.
Now, there's nothing in here for you today, Mrs. Walker.
Well, there's no rush.
Why, are you thinking of buying a car?
Well, I didn't learn to drive just so that I could talk about it.
Oh, no, well, I know that. I just didn't think you'd be ready yet. Only mine's for sale if you're interested.
Oh, really, Al? Fancy offering to sell me a car that's been involved in an accident.
It's flipping marvellous, isn't it? I mean, she was the one that smashed it up in the first place.
So what? Women are like that. They forget the little details, you know.
Details.
I hope you won't think I'm being rude, but I couldn't help overhearing you're interested in buying a car.
Well, mildly interested. Why, is that your line?
Yes, I only deal in the better class of vehicle, and only one or two at a time. I like to give my clients a rather more personal service than they get from the average dealer.
Very well.
Abernethy is my name, Paul Abernethy.
How do you do? Scottish failways?
Yes, you could say that, Mrs. Walker. It's over the door.
Yes, one tends to forget.
As a matter of fact, I've only this morning acquired a rather beautiful motor car, Rover 2000. Company director's car, one owner, very carefully maintained. And I wondered if... I really must stop doing this. I come in here for a quiet drink. You're kind enough to show me hospitality, and here I am. I'm sorry, Mrs. Walker. Please forget I ever mentioned it.
Nothing of the sort. It's lovely in these dreadful days to hear someone who's so immersed in his job. Is the car outside?
No, but it's only a few minutes away. I could... There I go again. No, please.
But I'd love to see it. What harm would there be? I wouldn't be under any obligation, would I?
None whatsoever. All right, I'll have it round in half an hour's time. And may I say, Mrs. Walker, what a pleasure it's been to meet you.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Abernethy. What a charming young man.
Did I hear him say he was bringing a car round?
Yes, he sells them, but only better class vehicles.
Marvellous, isn't it? I could have fixed you up there, but you spared me, didn't you?
Are you seriously putting yourself in the same category as Mr. Abernethy? Two different worlds. Two totally different worlds. Run away, can't it?
Off you go, lad.
Oh, yes, it is a pretty shade.
Something told me you'd like it.
I'd watch him if I were you, Mrs. Walker.
I'm sure you would.
Try the driving seat, Mrs. Walker.
You...
Comfy?
Yes, very.
It's very well fitted out. Vanity mirror on the sun visor.
Now that is an absolute essential.
It's amazing how many cars don't have them. Or the radio. That's included.
certainly feels like my car. Oh, manual.
It's the only way to drive.
Yes, I couldn't agree with you more. How much did you say?
£850.
Oh, that's rather more than I was thinking of.
Then the car isn't for you, Mrs. Walker. I quite understand.
No, I mean, I would have to think about it.
By all means. And to help you think, why not try it out? It's here.
Would you mind? Well, now, look, will you wait a moment and I'll get into my driving outfit. Right, Mr. Abernethy, all yours.
Seems a nice fella, that, doesn't he?
Yeah. She wants to be careful, though, buying a car off a stranger. I'm going to have a look at it.
Yeah, I think I'll have a look, too.
Nothing wrong, Mrs. Walker?
No, it's just a bigger car than I thought it was.
Ah, but a lady like you needs a car with a bit of dignity.
It's true.
Looks like it was made for you, Mrs. Walker. The colour matches your handbag, you know. Come on, give it a bit of encouragement.
Yeah, well, it don't look a bad car, doesn't that? I just hope Mr. Abernethy has more luck with his driver than I did.
I heard that, Alf. Now, where's the... Oh.
There.
Looks a treat, doesn't she? How'd you get on then, Mrs. Walker?
Fine. Do you know I did 55 miles an hour on the bypass? Fancy that?
Fancy.
You really don't realise how fast you're going in a big car, do you? Well, thank you very much, Mr. Abernethy, and I'll be in touch. Closing time, Beth?
Yes, Mrs. Walker. Time, please, gentlemen and Eddie.
Did you clinch the sale then, mate?
I'm not sure. She seemed a bit, non-committal.
Still, where there's non-committal, there's always a chance of committal, isn't there?
I suppose so. Well, I must go my way. Customers to see you now. Cheerio.
Cheerio. See you around.
Yep.
Hey, do you know him?
Hey, where would I know him from? No two ways about it, Mrs. Walker. That is one cracking good motor car, that is.
Aye, for touring.
Hey?
Well, Mrs. Walker isn't taking a family of four all over Europe, is she? All she wants is a safe, reliable little motor for knocking round Weatherfield.
You do yourself a favour, Mrs. Walker. You buy it.
Do yourself another favour, Mrs. Walker. Go to a reliable firm, Costigan's down the road. I wouldn't trust them fly-by-nights as far as I could chuck them.
Yeah, well, I mean, second-hand car dealers, they're all sort of tarred with the same brush, aren't they? Wherever you find them.
Now, there I can't agree with you. I flatter myself I'm a shrewd judge of character, and I have no doubt Mr. Abernethy is totally trustworthy. Although whether, of course, I was to buy his car.
Will you?
That's quite another matter, isn't it? Didn't I tell you I had a car?
No, you didn't.
Must have slipped my mind. It's not new, of course, but then that isn't very important, really, with these quality cars, is it?
What sort of car is it?
Rover 2000.
But they're pretty big, aren't they?
Substantial, yes. So shall I pick you up at the Robin Hood?
Please.
You never told me you had a Rover 2000, Mrs. Walker.
Probably because I haven't got one yet. Oh. Len, can I have a word with you?
You can, my love.
Mr. Abernethy.
Mr. Aberwatty?
You know, the car salesman who came to see me before the holidays.
Oh, yes, aye. What about it?
Well, I know he's got a garage somewhere near here. Now, you don't know where it is, do you?
I don't know. And even if I did, I couldn't bank on him being at work today. Not being a bank holiday.
Oh, forgotten it was a bank holiday.
Hey, excuse me, Mrs. Walker. Did I hear you mention Paul Abernethy?
Yes, I've simply got to get in touch with him.
Why, what's the matter?
Well, it's about that car. I've got to have it. It is vital. Now, do you think you could get hold of him?
I'll tell you what I'll do for you, Mrs. Walker. Seeing as it's you, I'll just nip out and make a few enquiries. How about that?
Thank you very much, Eddie. Just have a drink with me.
Oh, thank you very much.
Just as soon as you get back.
Yeah. There we are, Mrs. Walker. One Paul Abernethy.
Wherever did you find him?
Oh, round and about. Actually, he was in the lounge of the Flying Donkey.
Thank you very much, Eddie. Mr. Abernethy, how nice of you to come at such short notice.
Not at all, Mrs. Walker. Pleasure. It's about the Rover, is it?
Yes, it is. We'd like to come through to the living room where we're going to wash public.
Hey. Where do you think you're going?
Mrs. Walker said come through.
To him, not to you. I mean, you will have to find him, not act as his second.
Well, can I have me pint now, then, please?
What pint?
Mrs. Walker promised me a pint when I found him.
Oh, she's not here, is she? So you'll just have to wait. I mean, she didn't say anything about a pint to me, lovey.
Don't you trust me?
What do you think?
You're not nice, you aren't.
Of course I am. Once you get to know me.
Sherry, Mr. Abernethy.
I wouldn't say no.
Sweet or dry?
Try, please. The girls all say I'm sweet enough.
Now, I expect you know why I've asked you to come, don't you?
You've made up your mind, right?
That's right. I'm delighted to tell you I've decided to take the Rover off your hands. If you've still got it, that is.
I see.
You haven't sold it.
If only you'd rung me earlier.
You have sold it. Oh, how disappointing.
It's not actually sold, Mrs. Walker. I mean, money hasn't actually changed hands yet.
Well, then what's the problem?
It's just that this chap's made me an offer for the car and I've more or less accepted it. I tell you what I'll do, though. I've got another Rover coming in a couple of weeks.
No. Got to have it today, now.
Oh, dear, well, that is awkward. I mean, you can see my position, Mrs. Walker. I've built up my business reputation on not letting people down.
This offer you've had, does it match up with the original asking price?
He undercut me by a few pounds. Got a promise of a full tank of petrol out of me.
Suppose I were to offer you a few pounds more.
But I have given my promise, Mrs. Walker.
Say £25 more.
40?
30?
35.
30, and that's my last offer.
Go on, then. I always was a soft touch for an attractive woman.
We take a check.
Fine.
Where is the car now?
Outside. I came in it.
With a full tank of petrol?
You're a hard woman to do business with, Mrs. Walker.
Hey, she's not going to buy that thing, is she?
Well, according to Betty, she's already bought it.
What's wrong with it?
Well, there's nothing wrong with it, mate. It's just 10 times bigger than the one she learned in. She'll think she's driving a tank.
That is a bit of class, that is.
Are you quite sure you wouldn't like me to go over the controls with you just once more, Mrs. Walker?
No, really, Mr. Abernethy, it's not necessary.
I hope you know what you're doing, Mrs. Walker.
Oh, really, Elizabeth?
Hey, Annie, what about insurance?
Well, Mr. Abernethy's phoning a friend who's going to send me a cover note dated from today. See you later.
Enjoy yourself. Could be later than you think. Oh.
Thanks, Eddie, lad.
Any time, lanky lad.
Do you mind turning off your engine, please, madam?
What seems to be the trouble, officer?
Where exactly are you going?
Well, if you must know, I'm taking my friend Mrs. Stoner here to the Robin Hood Inn.
The Robin Hood Public House?
Yes.
I see. Yeah, well, quite a regular little pub crawl, eh, madam?
How dare you?
Could you just step out onto the pavement for a moment, please?
This is outrageous. I've only had one drink all day.
That's right. We've hardly had a drop, either of us.
Well, now's your chance to prove it, isn't it?
You are not expecting me to blow into that thing, are you?
Oh, yes, I am, madam. This is the Alco Test R80, the approved breath testing device. Oh, by the way, there's the expiry date. Now, if you'll just take a deep breath and fill the bag in 5 seconds in one blow, please.
I categorically refuse.
I should think so.
Well, in that case, madam, I shall just have to ask you to come to the station with me.
There, and I hope you're satisfied.
Thank you. Oh, dear. It's green.
Where shall I put it?
Just put it in the kitchen.
Get your hands off Yeats!
Only testing if they're fresh, that's
They
all.
are.
Right, anything else you want doing?
I can't think of anything, love. Hang on, here. Go and get yourself a drink.
Oh, no. Favour for a mate, you know.
Well, thanks anyway. Now, I've invited you to my party tonight, haven't I?
Yeah.
Just making sure.
Very nice. Very nice indeed. Mike Baldwin knows how to treat a girl, doesn't he? You see what you could have had, Eddie, if you'd have done your homework.
Just help yourself get whatever you want.
Go on, Bet, it takes two to tango.
To tango, maybe, but not to do what you are doing. You're better off on your own, love.
Yeah, I've always been ahead of me time, like that Leonardo da Vinci.